What's up? It is your guy, MarcMyWords, coming back to you, baby. We in here today, little Q&A session for those who like questions and answers. You understand? So there has been a couple guys that hit me up on the email, coachmark22@gmail.com, and submitted just their scenarios, their questions, their little topics, and we're gonna run through them. We're gonna run through a few of them today. Now, if you like the content at any point during this video, please hit the like button or subscribe to the channel. That just lets me know that I'm doing good things and that we're answering some good questions, man. And that's really what we're here to do. So also share this video or this episode with someone that you are fond of, brother. And hopefully that is another male that could be going through some of the things that we talk about in this video today. All right. Now, there are guys who email in coachmark22@gmail.com and they will put in their topic or submission or whatever and just say, hey, bro, can you keep me anonymous and give me some advice on my situation? Now, what happens is I give the advice, right? That's great. That's one perspective, though. I'm not perfect. I'm not God. It really helps if you comment in the comment section and give your perspective or what you've gone through or what did or did not work. Or, hey, dude, I feel you. This is terrible that you're going through this. We support you, though, bro, because any of us could be there. Sometimes just showing support for someone who's going through something helps as well. All right. So we'll run through. I got about 5 or 6 today. And we're going to see how it goes down. All right. All different topics, man. If you are on this channel, that means that you're searching for some answers about your masculinity, or you're on a constant quest to increase your masculine frame, get better as a man. All right. That's just it, bro. That's it. All right. So here's the first one. Is it a good idea for you to date or procreate with a woman who never had a father growing up? My father told me that it's a bad idea, but I just want to know what you think. Now, when dating, bro, dating is going to result in mating. And mating normally results in procreating with a woman, right? Or spending your life with a woman. Now, we have to understand something, bro. If you get married, even if it's for 10 years, that's a decade of your life, right? That might be 10% of your life or even more, depending on how long you live. That decision that you make is very vital because you have to deal with this person every single day, right? And after the 10 years, you might deal with the ramifications of what this person was into for years and years after that. There's some dudes paying alimony, child support, dealing with short sales of houses, boats, car, like all types of things, bro, because they chose incorrectly, right? So this decision is a huge decision. And when we make these decisions, it's funny because we don't always listen to our father when it comes to relationships, but why wouldn't we? Now, I'm not saying that he's an expert just because he's your dad. What I am saying is that he's a male just like you. What I am saying is that most of them were married like you're trying to be. What I am saying is that most of them have been around the block a few times, bro. And if they haven't gone through it, they've seen it. So why do we have this resource and not listen to them? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Because when you get older, you start to realize, man, what my dad was talking about makes perfect sense. A lot of the things he was saying, man, I just thought it was just old little sayings that rhyme. Now I'm realizing it makes perfect sense. So what your dad was telling you came from a real place, bro, because there is a difference between a woman who grew up with a male in her home versus a woman who grew up without a male in her home. Think about all the things that you provide as a man, bro. Structure, discipline, obedience, guardrails, boundaries, right? So a lot of times when the man is not present in that home, those things weren't present. So how does that translate to you? Well, now you're in a relationship with her, bro, and when you're trying to establish boundaries, she doesn't know what that looks like. You're trying to establish some rules and regulations for your house, and she's looking at that like you're trying to control her. You're telling her what you like her to wear outside the home and what you don't, and she's not feeling that at all. You're telling her the things that you'd like to do as a man to keep her safe, and bro, she's foreign to that because she's never had anyone do it. Normally, the father is the first person that shows her protection. The father is the first person that sets boundaries. The father is the person that gives her rules and regulations that she must follow. Yes, her mom might have given her all those things, but we all know that it's much different. We all know that it's much different. And I'm sure you guys out there with daughters would not want your daughter to go through life without you in their lives. And you shouldn't want to. So there are a lot of things that this woman will be missing that women with fathers had. And on top of that, let's be clear about something. If the woman had a father and brothers, she grew up learning how to deal with the opposite sex, how to deal with conflict, how to deal with them on holidays, how to deal with them when they weren't in the mood, when they were in the mood to be funny, right? She knows what certain things you can say to a man, what things you should not, things that he shouldn't say to you, right? Because she also learned how to receive treatment from men through her brothers and her father. But if she did not have that, you have some girls, man, it was 3 girls and their mom. So you meet them and you wonder why you guys are having issues, because she wasn't taught how to navigate through relationships with men. So when your dad was telling you, hey, bro, you should think about this before you procreate with a woman who grew up without a father, he was just trying to throw you a bone, bro. Because once you procreate with her, you got to deal with her. A lot of us got 20-something-year-old kids, bro. We still got to deal with their mom from time to time. So you don't want to, if you had your choice, bro, it's much better to deal with a woman who had a father in her home. There's so many lessons that she will have learned. Lessons about respect, lessons about boundaries, lessons about language, lessons about serving her man correctly so that he can serve her correctly. You understand? How's she supposed to learn those things if she didn't have a father in home? We always talk about fathers being in the house with boys. I mean, I would love to say that it's equally as important for women to have a father in the home as well. So not to say that it's a surefire sign that you're going to have a bad relationship with her, bro. But I wouldn't think about procreating with a woman who didn't have a father if you can help it. If you can help it. You know what I mean? And it seems like if you're sending the question in that you can help it, right? So if you date her, you have a relationship with her, cool. Procreating with her, nah. And I don't even know that you should be looking forward to a long-term situation with her, because if you had a father growing up, obviously you did, you guys are going to have a lot of conflicting ideas on how your house should be run anyway. It's going to be hard for you guys to align, bro. Your beliefs aren't going to be the same. It just isn't going to. So I appreciate you for writing in, homeboy. If you have a submission like this one, please do so at coachmark22@gmail.com. Now, the next one. I'm in corporate sales for a high-level pharmaceutical company. My coworkers don't seem to respect me like they should. What can I do to change that? So this happens a lot, bro. And I have a lot of guys asking me, how can I gain more respect from my peers or the men around me, right? Because we're talking about men. We're not worried about the women you work with, bro. We're talking about your respect from men. Because if men respect you, women also follow suit. So we're talking about the men, right? So you spoke about being at a high-level pharmaceutical company, okay? High level. So that means you probably get into a couple dollars, all right? Now, what's funny is we're taught that making a lot of money will earn respect from the others around us. If you make enough money and people see that you got change, they have to respect you. But bro, this is the thing. Although you might make several $100,000 a year, because I heard pharmaceutical sales, you can make a great living. But bro, the guys that you work with also make that much. You're all on the same level. You're on the same level, bro. So we talk about self-respect a lot, right? Especially on this channel. We talk about if you do things that make you respect yourself, other people have to follow suit. So I would ask you a few questions. If I was working with you one-on-one, bro, I would say, all right, how's your health and fitness? Because if your health isn't up to par, people can't respect that. Well, you can't respect it, right? How are your finances? I know you make good money, but how do you spend your money? Are you investing? Are you saving? Do you have a long-term plan, right? I would say, how are your personal relationships with your family and or romantic relationships? Do you have control of them? Because everybody's able to have relationships, but do you have control of them? Are they stressing you out? Do you have boundaries set up, and are people following them? Are you willing to cut them off if they don't? Bro, are you an honest person? Do you have some type of spiritual base in your life? Right? So those are the things that would make you proud of you. And those are the things that also would garner self-respect from these guys around you. It isn't going to be the sales quotas, bro. It isn't going to be. I know it seems like that, and you probably thought, oh, when I get to this level and I start making this money, they're going to respect me. They're going to have to, Mark. They're going to have to respect me. They don't have to do nothing. They don't have to do anything. But one thing they cannot deny is a man who's healthy. A man whose body game is up because he's doing his push-ups and his pull-ups, bro. He's running a mile after work every night. They have to respect that. They have to respect a man who takes his spirituality serious. And when you tell them, oh yeah, I'm fasting this month, I only eat once a day this month, they have to respect that, bro. They have to respect you if you're an honest person, even when you mess up and say, you know what? I didn't reach my quota. I thought I was going to. I didn't reach it. I'm willing to take whatever consequence comes with that. Those are the things that make people respect you, bro. So most likely, if you're lacking in some of those areas, that's where you start. And you should really start them for you, because if you're starting to build yourself up so that you look in the mirror and you're proud of you, everyone else will start to follow suit because you'll be walking around with that confidence as well. So I would say, really just look at your masculinity, bro, your spirituality, your honesty, your integrity, your self-respect, your confidence. How are your relationships, right? How's your circle of friends? Do you volunteer much? How are your finances? When you cover all those areas and you're striving to be the best you can in all of those areas, then people have no choice but to respect you, bro. All right? So, come back with another one. Now, that was a great submission because, guys, a lot of times we feel like we want to pull the respect from people. You understand? I got to make these people respect me. But bro, if you have to make them respect you, you either don't need to be around them, or you need to take a hard look in the mirror at what you're doing on a daily basis. What are your habits? Bro, if you drink and smoke all the time, if you're always using profanity, if you're watching porn all day, bro, people don't respect that. This is what it is, all right? So, another one. We got another one. What's more important, your spirit or your finances? I have an issue with my wife and the new church that we joined. They want us to attend different events throughout the week, and it's messing with my overtime. We have financial goals, and my overtime is going to make it possible for me to meet them. That's a great question. Good God Almighty, that's a great submission. Guys, sometimes, hey, listen, let me tell you something. Sometimes I hear someone's submission or topic or question, and it just takes me to a different level, bro, because I know that a lot of men are dealing with this same issue, man. So when you write in like this anonymously, of course, it makes me feel good that I can answer a lot of questions for a lot of people at one time. All right. So you are not the only person that has financial plans, bro. A lot of people have financial plans, and a lot of men will put the finances before their spirituality because they're protectors and providers. They want to see their families do well, whether they came from abundant means or meager means. They want to provide for their family. They want to be that guy for their family. So they put that first, right? They put the spirituality behind it. They put their health behind it. They put a lot of things behind it. And one thing is true, man. You can make money and buy things, okay? But the best things in life are free. Sounds kind of cliche, bro, but it's really that. It's really that. A sunny day on the beach, man, when you're hearing the waves splash up against the coast, you can, bro, no amount of money can replace that. There's no feeling like that. You understand what I'm saying? And that was just an example, but when it comes to your financial plans, right? And the plan that you have set up to reach those goals, that's very important, right? I would tell anybody, bro, you got to have some plans. And your plan this year can be just to pay off some debt. I got like $10,000 in credit card debt. I just want to pay it down. And that's my goal this year. It's not a big deal. And everything that you do has to pour into that or not take away from that, right? So that just might be what you're doing. But if you have overtime set up and you're on a schedule to work overtime and you have already counted these dollars into your equation as far as your financial goals, bro, you have to work your overtime, right? So the new church you joined is expecting you to be there a lot, perhaps, and expect you to do different things on different days, and it's messing with your overtime. So number one, you have to understand that the God that you serve knows everything that you do. Knows everything that you do. So fam, if you were cutting church to go to the bar, if you were cutting church to hang out with your neighbors and drink beer, if you were cutting church just to go to the bowling alley, that would be different. But you're cutting church events to provide for your family. You're cutting church events to pay for private school for your kids. You're cutting church events so that you can make investments that will at some point pay your children and grandchildren. Sir, that the God that you serve, and I don't care who it is, I don't care what God you serve, fam, that God would appreciate those efforts. So that is the person that you have to answer to. Remember when you were younger, if you had a father, any dudes that have a father know, I wasn't worried about answering to them principals, the police, the judge, I don't care who I got. I got to answer to my daddy. And boy, I don't want to be on the wrong side of that. You understand me? You don't want to be on the wrong side of answering to your heavenly Father, whoever that might be. All right. Now, after you realize that he's the only one you have to answer to, brother, and that will never change. Okay. Once you realize that, then you have the conversation with your wife and say, hey, listen, I really like this church. I really like this temple, this mosque that we're going to, whatever. Right now, I can't attend all the events that I want to because I done set up this overtime and I feel really good knowing that this extra income is going to help us reach our financial goals. So I can't attend with you, but I encourage you and the kids to go. I'll support y'all going. I just can't do it all the time. Now, she has two choices. She can not understand, right, and give you hell about it, and you go work your overtime and y'all be at odds. Or she can understand where you're coming from, understand that you're just trying to protect and provide, and you can go work your overtime. Notice that both choices I gave you included you going to work your overtime. Hey, bro, we don't stop no show for nobody. We don't stop no show for nobody because, again, I said you have to answer to your Father, which is up in the sky. Or, hey, he might be in the hell, whoever you praying to, bro. But it ain't her, okay? You done already put the plan together. You done got your overtime locked in. You keep on doing what you're doing, and you get there when you can get there. And, bro, what you can also do is, man, spirituality has a lot to do with just when you sit back and give your higher being a couple minutes. Because some dudes can't make it to a church, bro. They can't make it to a temple. There's dudes fighting in the army, bro. They can't make it to church. So what you think? God ain't watching over them? You got to be able to take them couple minutes every day, bro, and pray to your God, sit with your God, and worship how you're supposed to worship. So you won't be working overtime forever, my brother. But trust and believe, God has a way of moving mountains. You understand me? So that you can get to the other side. You never know. Something might come about, bro. And just because you were working hard and God knows that you want to have the extra time to spend with your family, he can provide a way. So I say you work your overtime. You had that conversation with your wife, but you keep praying to that higher being, bro, because that's who you need to answer to anyway. All right? Now, that was a very important question, a very important topic to bring up, because a lot of dudes are suffering with that. A lot of times the ideas that we have are different from those of our wives. And then we also struggle with what would my higher being want me to do. So it's very important, man, that, spiritually, we stay connected as men. So when you have topics like that, please send them to coachmark22@gmail.com, because every time we talk about spirituality, man, it helps one guy, 1,000 guys, 100,000 guys stay connected and understand that this is a part of the process as well. All right. Now I got another one for you. How will I know if I can trust a woman enough to tell her about my sexual fetishes? I have a few of them, as I'm sure other men do. So how will I know if I can share them with her? All right, bro. That's a good one. That's a good one. Now, and we're talking about sharing sexual experiences, fetishes, or just things that you like to do with somebody. Bro, the number one factor is, do you see yourself being with that person long term? Do you see yourself being with that person long term? And do you see yourself involving this person in those fetishes or practices that you like to involve with? So it's almost like if you talk about ice cream, right? You like ice cream. You like to eat ice cream a couple times a week. But there's someone who's lactose intolerant that you know who is never going to go have ice cream with you, okay? It's okay that they might know that you like ice cream, but do they need to know the details? Do they need to know what type of ice cream you had today? Do they need to know how much it cost, how long you waited in line, how long it took you to eat it? Do you like sprinkles on it? Do you like bananas underneath the ice cream? All of those things are only important to someone who is going to go with you. So if that person is not going with you to eat the ice cream, bro, what do they need to know all the details for? Same thing with the sexual fetishes. If you think that you guys are going to be in a situation long enough and tight enough for her to involve herself with you and your fetishes, then by all means, let's go. Let her know what's going on. If it's just somebody you dating, bro, If it's just somebody you think, this might be cool for like 6 months, but it probably ain't gonna last through the new year, I don't think you divulge that information. I don't think you need to tell her about that. Because what we end up doing is sharing information that's never put to use. And all it is giving someone ammo to let people know about you. And you might not want nobody to know that. Because let's be clear, what you do in your bedroom is your business, sir. What you do with your genitals is your business. There are certain people that in your circle, bro, probably most of the people in your circle, you don't even want to know what they're doing with their genitals. So when we pass that information to other people who are not going to be involved with the fetishes or practices that we involve ourselves with, they end up a lot of times spreading them to people who maybe don't even know you that well. How does that make sense? So I would wait. And if you're asking, that means you're unsure. If you're unsure, that means you don't know if this person is going to be a long-term partner. If this person is not going to be a long-term partner, I do not know why you would be telling them about all your dirty secrets. Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. Now, when you get to a point where you feel like this person is going to be around for the long haul and that they share the same fetishes or even some similar, because maybe she shares some similar fetishes or similar things that she likes to do in the bedroom as well. And it's like, oh, I didn't know you like whipped cream. I like whipped cream too. Let's go buy some whipped cream. You understand? So it makes sense when it comes around that way. But if it's not that, bro, keep it to yourself. Normally, people don't regret keeping things to themselves. They regret telling people that never needed to know. That's my take on it, bro. But great submission. Because once again, as men, we will talk about finances. We will talk about the big trucks we have, the guns we have, the deer we shot. We talk about all the man stuff. It's great. But we rarely ever have real true conversations just about, number one, sexual fetishes, sexual practices, or just things we like or do not like about sex, or if we're having good sex, bad sex, if we're kind of frustrated with the sex with our partner right now. We rarely talk about that as men. So those are great submissions. When they send them to coachmark22@gmail.com, it gives me a chance to talk to you guys about sex. And guys, guess what? Most of us going to be having sex till the day we die. So it's important to hit on that subject. All right. Now, for the last one of the day, young man writes in, I volunteer with some of the youth in our area. My wife does not like it, and she feels as though mothers of the children are getting mixed signals. I say I'm doing it for the right reasons, but she doesn't seem to believe that. What should I do? Very, 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 very good question. All right. So this young man is volunteering with some of the youth in his area, and a lot of the youth, obviously, that you volunteer with, a lot of them come from separated homes, okay? A lot of times, it's just from a home that is a result of a divorce, a separation, maybe there was never a marriage, what have you, and those young men, a lot of times, need mentors or people to come in and just help them connect dots in certain areas, okay? So this young man is involved in that right now. So, bro, understand something, that what you're doing is noble and you should be congratulated for that, because you don't have to. Anytime the word volunteer comes up, that means you didn't have to do it and you're not getting paid to do it. So the fact that you're taking time out of your day, time out of your week, out of your weekend, time away from your family is admirable. Bro, that has to be said. So the fact that you're even doing it feeds into your masculinity. We talk about volunteering a lot when it comes to masculinity, because a masculine man is going to give time, energy, or resources to people who cannot pay him back. All right? So that's very big, and that's a masculine move. Now, there are mothers present, right? And you're saying that your wife has an issue with some of the mothers getting mixed signals. And I would imagine that means in a romantic sense. Now, bro, if you're flirting with these women, if you're leading these women on, if you're talking to them on your personal phone, if when you go see them, you spend an extra time talking, if you're flirting with them and all of that, you know you're wrong, okay? You know you're wrong. And your wife doesn't have to tell you you're wrong. You as a man, you know you're wrong. Oh, this is wrong. I probably shouldn't be flirting with Mrs. Jones, but she looked nice in them tights, and I ain't had none in a minute. You already know you're wrong, all right? So if that's the case, bro, then you need to stop. And if you were single, I would tell you need to chill, because this is what you don't want to happen. You do not want any of these mothers or people at the organization that you volunteer with to believe that you are involved with them because you want to get down mothers' pants. You understand? That you are into MILFs. You don't want them to ever believe that, bro. So, if you are acting in this manner, you need to cut it down, okay? But on the flip side, if you're volunteering out of the kindness of your heart, and your only focus is on the youth that you're volunteering with, and you know that you're not trying to go outside of your marriage, much less go against the volunteer spirit that you have, then, bro, you're going to have to talk to your wife and she's going to chill. Because guess what? If you have your stuff together, if you walk in your masculine frame, if you have confidence, bro, if you're on time all the time, if you show up looking neat and nice, if you're very nice to people's children, if you're giving them valuable lessons, if you take care of yourself, if it seems like your finances are in check, women are going to be attracted to you. And I think a huge problem that we have in our relationship society is that women and men expect people to not be attracted to their above average partner. So, bro, if you're above average and you a masculine man and you really, really take pride in doing certain things as a man, there are women who are going to be attracted to that, especially single mothers. There is something that happens when they see a man interacting with their children, even if you're not the biological father. So in this case, I would tell you to keep doing what you're doing because, bro, you are doing God's work. And you cannot call yourself a man of value or a masculine man, but you don't add value to anyone else outside of your house. That's not what a high value man does, bro. That's not what a masculine man does. So in this case, if you know that you have great intentions, you are not flirting with the moms, if you're not talking to them personally on your phone, calling them, texting them, doing all types of stuff that's out of bounds, if you're not doing those things, then you have to tell your wife she has to chill. Which I know can be hard for some guys because a lot of y'all haven't gotten to the point where you've established them type of boundaries with your lady. But this would be a perfect time to do it. Tell her she got to sit down somewhere because you're doing what you know is right. And you pray every day. And you walk in a certain confidence, with a certain confidence about yourself. And so, a lot of that comes from the fact that you know you're taking your time, energy, resources, money, and you're pouring it into other people. Even if it's a little bit at a time, bro. Even if it's a little bit at a time. So you might have to break it down to her, okay? If you're with an organization and you work with 10 kids twice a week for an hour, it's 2 hours a week. Bro, you're giving out 10 hours every time you go, not 1 hour, because your 1 hour is going to 10 different people at the same time. It's 10 hours. That's 20 hours at the end of the week. Numbers don't lie. So when you're talking to your wife, you might have to tell her, these 20 hours that I put in with these children are much needed. So I need you to get over yourself about their mothers. And you take really good care of me, sis. You really make sure a lot of my needs are met. So of course, I'm going to come across attractive. My skin's going to glow. I'm going to walk different. I'm going to talk different. My hands look different because you take very good care of me as my wife. I appreciate that. But you have to understand that's going to make me more attractive to other women. And bro, there's nothing wrong with having that conversation. So apparently that's needed right now. And bro, let me tell you something. We need more men like you in the world. In the world. There's a lot of guys that's like, oh, I should start coaching. Oh, I should start donating. I should start volunteering. It's a lot of guys that say that. They might say that for 3 years straight and never do it. So hopefully this topic, this question, this scenario was a wake-up call to some dudes that's watching. Bro, you got to volunteer. Got to. I don't care if it's just a little bit. Bro, sometimes, hey, man, that means you take $50 to the Salvation Army every once in a while. The Boys and Girls Club, take some Gatorades over there. That might be all you can do right now. You can't always coach for 6 months. You can't always donate $1,000. But if you, a local Boys and Girls Club, if you take 2 cases of Gatorade that you got from the grocery store and said, I just wanted to donate this for the kids, let the kids have some Gatorades. But they're not finna turn you down. You understand me? And that's volunteering. Okay? So some really great questions and situations today. I urge you guys, Write to me, bro. CoachMarc22@gmail.com. Tell me your situation. Let me know what's going on with you. I'll put it up on a Q&A, bro, and we'll get you some advice on it. Now, understand something that also people are going to comment in the comment box, bro. So look for the comments, look for their points of view, right? And it can give you a lot of different answers on the thing that you might be struggling with or you just might be questioning. All right. So it really works. Now, if you are one of these guys and one of these situations resonated with you heavy, right? But you're a guy that you feel like stuff is way beyond me just getting a little bit of advice. I need somebody to work with me. I need to meet with somebody once a week so that I can help get through this situation because I feel like I'm just really, really underachieving in this area. If that's you, bro, go down to the description, book a call with me. We'll get on the Zoom. We'll figure out if we're a right fit, if we're the right fit to establish a relationship, because we might be. We can meet once a week. Try to make a plan for you to get through whatever situation you're going through, right? You might need a therapist, bro. You might need a nutritionist. You might need a trainer. You might need a family counselor. Maybe somebody in your area. If that is the case, we can get on the Zoom. I'll help you connect with one of those people in your area, and we can get to you being your best self because, bro, that's why we do this. There is no point of us coming on here wasting our time if we're not going to get better as men. That's it, and that's all. So as always, bro, I appreciate y'all for tuning in with your guy, man. It's been a pleasure being able to spend some time with you, all right? So this guy, Mark My Words. I'll be back at you on the flip side, homie.